Two detectives knocked on her door on a Tuesday morning. They weren't there about her. They were there about her boyfriend of 8 months, a man she thought she knew well, a man she'd been building a future with. They asked if she had any idea about his activities over the past 14 months. She did not. She was 31, worked in healthcare, met him through a mutual friend at a dinner party. He was attentive, funny, good-looking in an approachable way. His explanations for being self-employed were vague, but not concerning. He said he did consulting work for small businesses. He seemed comfortable financially. She didn't probe. She trusted the mutual friend's implicit endorsement. The detectives explained that they'd been investigating a series of financial fraud cases. Specifically, individuals who'd cultivated relationships with people in professional fields, healthcare, law, accounting, and used those connections to facilitate fraudulent billing arrangements. Her boyfriend had been identified as a person of interest. They wanted to know if she'd ever signed any documents at his request that she hadn't fully reviewed. She had. She thought it was for his business registration. He'd asked her to co-sign something as a character reference about 4 months in. He'd explained it quickly. She hadn't read it carefully, and she trusted him. She now sat across from two detectives being told that her signature was on a document that had been used in a fraudulent billing claim to an insurance company. Her signature on something criminal. She immediately cooperated. She gave them access to everything she had, her messages, their shared photos, timeline records of their relationship. Her own lawyer, contacted that afternoon, confirmed that her cooperation established her as a victim rather than a participant. But she was still a person whose name was in a criminal investigation file. That has a texture to it that doesn't wash off quickly. She called him. He answered. She said, "2 detectives came to my door today." There was a 3-second pause, and he said, "I was going to tell you." The second time in this series, someone has said that sentence. It never means what they want it to mean. He didn't explain further on the phone. He texted that evening asking if they could meet in person to talk. Her lawyer advised against unsupervised contact. She sent him one message: "My lawyer will be in touch." He was arrested 3 weeks later. She was listed as a cooperating witness. She sat in a waiting room outside a grand jury room and thought about the dinner party where they'd met and whether her friend had known anything. The friend hadn't. He was charged. The case is ongoing. She can't discuss details. What she can say is that her name was cleared early in the investigation. Her professional license, which she'd been terrified about, was reviewed and confirmed unaffected. She lost 8 months, her trust in her own judgment, in a relationship she'd thought was real. She gained, she says, a very specific ability to recognize charm as a technique versus a quality. She checks documents now, every single one. She reads what she signs. She Googles people before she trusts them. She asks questions about work that feels slightly too specific to be polite. Some men find this annoying. She considers that useful information about those men. Would you have cooperated fully with investigators from day one? Or would you have gotten a lawyer first?